Hey guys, Merrick here with Movement Real Estate Group. We're going to do a market update here for the month of February 2022, the movement report, as you all know and love. Some crazy numbers. Obviously, the market has been very hot. It's been jumping up in price. Year over year, numbers are insane. But also, I want to dive into really kind of what's happening transactionally and how the market shifted in the last few years. Where listings may not be sitting on the market, but there are transactions happening. So where are those listings coming from? How quick is everything turning over? Stuff like that. So I want to jump in. I'm going to try to be as fast as I can, try to respect your time, but there's a lot of information to cover, so bear with me. Let's jump right in. So movement report. So this is sales in Abbotsford. This is all property types. Orange line is your 10-year average. The blue line is going to be the sales for 2021, and then you can see the green dot right there. That is January 2022. So 190 sales this January. That is up 33% from your average of 142 for the 10-year average. Actually down a bit from what it was last. Listings. Interesting that listings are where they're at. So you can see your 10-year average for listings. This is where we'd like to see them. You can see we're close to 800 here. This is Abbotsford, all property types. So, last year we were a little bit lower on listings, and that was kind of reflective of the last couple years we've been down in those numbers. So we are way down in listings. So we have 218 active listings in January in 2022 in Abbotsford, down 72% low on listings. So we are down from 767. So last year we would have 540 on market, down 60% from last year. So we are super low on listings. Not a ton of inventory sitting out there. Okay, that being said, where are these sales coming from? If the sales are up from the 10-year average, where are these sales coming from? So our sales are reflected on the new listings here. So you can see the new listings. We've got our 10-year average in orange again, so it's congruent. 10-year average, new listings right there, 268. So 268 listings, that's where the sales are coming from. Little bit less than what happened, 10-year average would be 303, we're down 11%. And then we are down from last year, we had 379 listings in January, all property types in Abbotsford. So we're down 29% from last year. So new listings are down, and so a new listing it's listed that month and sells that month. If anything carries over, you get the total pool of listings. So it's included in that as well. So it just gives you a bit of a clarity there. A lot of the sales are coming from new listings. Days on market's less than 7 days on market. Normally we would see that around 60 days on market in January only a couple years ago. Now 7 days on market's normal. If it's longer than 7 days, there's something wrong with it according to everyone. So it's a crazy fast market. Let's get into pricing. Let's go detached houses year over year. So January 2021 to January 2022, just detached houses. Let's go through the respective communities very quickly because I don't want to take too much time. Here we are. Basically kind of a holistic look at what's happened here. You can see some massive jumps up, Stelta 44%, Surrey 42%, City of Langley 49%, Langley Township 41%, Abbotsford 48%, Mission 46%, Chilliwack 49% average. So this is the HPI prices for all of these homes. This is the average of the average. We take out the top and the bottom, and then we do the median of the middle. So this is your HPI price, your average homes, how much they've gone up year over year. So that's 1 year increase, okay? So to put that in perspective, that means if you bought a house last January for $1 million in Abbotsford, okay, that house is worth 1.44, 1.49 right now. It means if you bought that house in January for $200,000 down, that $200,000 is now $650K basically. So that's how much that has jumped up. It's an insane amount. Like, we're getting numb to this year over year. It's insane. So let's just jump into the numbers here. Let's go quickly. Sorry, I don't want to digress too much. If you're in West Vancouver, average home now 3.2, an increase of 11% year over year. West Vancouver increased 18%. You're sitting just over $2 million for your average home. Oh, I forgot to capitalize the J there. Oh well. Vancouver increased 13%, $2.5 million now. Let's see, Burnaby increased 20%. It's up to $1.8 million. Richmond, just over $2 million, increase of 21%. Delta, massive jump, 44%. You are now sitting at $1.4 million for your average home in Delta. I believe I mentioned Delta would jump up because it was underpriced for the area and the proximity to Vancouver. Now people have realized Delta was a good buy, and that's why you get that 44% increase, where the surrounding areas have only jumped up 20%. So Tawasin also jumped up 28%. Really good number for Tawasin, 1.5 now. Nice little bedroom community there to Vancouver, reasonably close. Great spot. Increase of 20% for Coquitlam, 1.67. So big jump up for them as well. Port Coquitlam increased 32%. So 1.4. 42% increase in Surrey, so sitting over 1.6 now for your average house in Surrey. So Surrey, 1.6. White Rock, 1.5, increased 29%. Pitt Meadows, 41% increase. You're sitting at 1.4 for Pitt Meadows. If you wanted to live in the city of Langley and you bought, 49% increase. You're sitting at almost 1.5, city of Langley. Township of Langley, a little bit more to pull from. They're sitting at 1.6, an increase of 41%. Next on the list, Maple Ridge, 38% increase, 1.28. So they jumped up a massive amount, 38%. Mission, 46%. So average house last year, $795. Now it's 1.159. And I've been dealing with people trying to buy in Mission, and I've got sellers coming up in Mission. Literally everything for the month of January was going, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, 150 to 300,000 over asking in Mission. That's how fast everything jumped up, and it was recent. So year over year in Mission, just crazy, and it's still jumping up. Abbotsford, 48%. So your average house in Abbotsford is 1.375 million. Chilliwack, this is the average, not the HPI price, because they don't do HPI price in Chilliwack, but their average price went up 49%, now sitting over a million, 1.1. So, I mean, the jumps in pricing has just been insane. It's not sustainable, I don't think, year over year. We'll talk about where I see the market going and stuff like that in a second. So active listings, Fraser Valley, all of the Fraser Valley active listings, a record low for January, 1968 active listings right now, very, very low. You can see how low it is below the what we'd like normally to see. It starts to jump up in January, just a tiny tick up for this January, so very low. Residential detached, so your homes, this is the sales to active ratio, so 49% sales to active ratio. Balanced market, we'd like to see it below 20%, so very, very heavy sellers market. 97% for apartments, staggering it was higher, came down, but it's still at 97%. Again, balanced market's 20%, 12 to 20%, so I mean 20% is a high balanced market, so 97%, yeah, it's insane. 87% for townhouses, all of the Fraser Valley, again, came down. I think it was at 144% last month, in the month of December, I believe. So even with the new listings that came out, you're sitting at 87%. So huge sales to active ratio, way over what we'd like to see for a balanced market, but that's the way it is right now. So, people keep mentioning to me that they think there's going to be a correction coming, and there's going to be a big drop, and there's going to be lots of deals to scoop up. There just isn't. Okay, let me explain. Number one, mortgages. Everyone's qualified at the higher rate, at the benchmark rate, or at 5.25%, or whatever your rate is, plus 2%, whichever the higher is. So everyone's qualified at those higher rates. Okay, so they can handle the rates going up a little bit. 5 years from now, is when, the people that are locked in or variable, whatever, they got to remortgage in, 5 years. So we'll see people come up as the rates increase. We'll see people come up that'll either remortgage or they'll sell. If there's a lot of sales, that will easily get swallowed up by the demand in the market. You're not going to see this mass amount of people who are over leveraged come into the market and have to sell their asset. There's just too much demand. Okay, so I don't see a big correction coming in price. I would like to see a cooling of price jumping for sure, but I don't see this massive correction coming. I think one of the biggest corrections we ever had was in 2008, 2018. Those were the two big corrections. They both bounced back within like 6 months. So they went down 8% in 2008, and then it bounced back within the year. I think 2018 went down similar, but it was like 6 months of a bounce back. So let's imagine that interest rates start to go up and you start to see a correction of 10%, okay, which is not going to happen, but imagine it does. So prices go in Abbotsford, prices go from 1.4 and they go down by 140 grand at 10%. So you're still sitting way over the $1 million mark for a house in Abbotsford. You're not going to see houses go from 1.4 down to 500 grand again. It's gone. Those days are gone. You're not going to get a house in Abbotsford for 500 grand. It's just not going to happen. You're probably not going to get a house in Abbotsford less than $1 million now. I mean, realistically, like you're going to get a small box for 800,000-900,000, and you're going to compete to get it. So you're going to go over the asking price. I mean, they're selling 3,000 square foot lots, old houses built in the 80s, and those are going for 900 plus. And then there's a competition, and those are getting bid up with 10 offers right now. So, the days of $500,000 houses in Abbotsford are gone. They're not coming back. More and more people are moving into Vancouver in the luxury and ultra luxury segment. You look at the town. If you look at what they're building in Vancouver, they're not building regular apartments anymore. It's luxury or ultra luxury only. They're not building regular apartments. So if that's the case of what's happening in Vancouver of the luxury and ultra luxury, you can expect that you're going to see the push to continue out from Vancouver all the way out into the Fraser Valley, all the way up to Hope now. So that money is coming in from other places in the world. Vancouver's a desirable city to live in. You can go skiing at Whistler, you go sailing the next day. It's safe. You can leave your door unlocked and you're not going to get robbed. It's a very, very desirable place to live. And more importantly, they have insanely good monetary systems in place where people from around the world can come and buy, and their money is safe here. That's not going to change. Okay, there's nothing that's going to happen unless there's a black swan event that comes in and drastically affects the marketplace in some way, which is unforeseeable. So I'm talking like the government makes it impossible or makes it illegal to own an investment property. Something that draconian would have to happen in order for the market to go down. So what can we expect? I expect the prices to increase a little bit more this year, not like they have. I'm hoping that there's a bit of a leveling off towards summer with more inventory. But I mean, if you look back at the graph, there's not a ton of, the inventory that is, like we had more inventory last year than our 10-year average as far as, spring. We had way more, but it was swallowed up. It was gone instantly because the demand is so high. So that's what we're going to have this year. We're going to see more of that. So, again, I went a little bit long. I apologize. I try to keep these short, but there's a lot of information here, guys. So give me a shout if you have any questions. If you're thinking of moving, and you're scared about the inventory is there. It's just selling quickly. All of our clients, every single one of our clients that wanted to upgrade, downsize, whatever, we found them a place to go into, and they're happy with the results of the place that they got. So those deals exist. We just have to be very, very fast with how we purchase. We have to have our ducks in a row. We got to stage your place right or declutter as we can so we get this most amount of money for your sale. These deals are happening. They're just very fast. Everything's on turbo level. So you got to make sure that you're in the right hands. that everything is lined up on the sales side, and then you're in the right position on the buy side to win the bid. And we've won lots of bids without being the highest offer. It's about putting the offer together right, being ready, having everything ready, all your I's dotted and T's crossed. So, if you are scared about listing and getting into the market or buying or where would we go, have a conversation with us. Talk through the concerns and the issues, and let's see if we can't find you something that works for you guys. Because that's what we're here for. We're here to help people reach their goals. And there's a lot of trepidation right now with people not wanting to sell because they feel like there's nowhere to go. But there are listings, guys. There are listings, but they're going fast. So they're not sitting on the market. And that's why the inventory looks so low. But if you look at those sales numbers, they're not terribly low. There is deals happening. They're just quick. If you have questions, reach out. I'm Eric, Movement Real Estate Group. My partner, Michele, Movement Real Estate Group. Contact information is on the video. And we're happy to help. Hopefully that's a little bit of clarity for you guys. I know this video went a little bit long, but a lot to cover. This market's been crazy. 49% increase year over year for Chilliwack, 48% for Abbotsford. It's huge numbers. So give us a shout if you have questions. I can go into the details if you have a townhouse, you want to know what it's worth, or maybe I didn't touch on an apartment in Port Moody or whatever it is. Let me know, and we'll talk about it. Thanks so much. Bye.